how white people judge black people and how they try to get them out of their space. But I am sick and I am tired and I am weathered by how young black girls and black women are being treated in the United States. It rubs me so bad. It rubs me the wrong way. What was it? Malcolm X who was saying that black women are the worst treated. You know, just that whole little spiel that he gave. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And I hope, beyond hope, that people keep exposing these bigots. People keep putting their address out there, that Black Twitter CSI, shout out to the black guy who tips, you know, that they mess around and continue to do like the Lord's work and get these people out the paint. Because you know what? This whole thing, it's 2018, and I know we keep saying this. It's 2018, and none of this stuff should be happening, but it is happening. And as long as it is happening, I want people exposed. And I'm listen. I'm talking about black men and everybody else. Start treating black women better, y'all. This is ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. You know, black women get it bad because one, they're women, right? Let's start there. Okay, so they're already downgraded, society-wise. Then they're black, so then now you take another notch down, society-wise. And then, in a lot of cases that I've been reading, and a lot of news that I've been seeing, black men have been horrible.
Guilty.
Horrible to black women. And let me just say this. I'm saying this to you as someone who, in my own personal opinion, was trash. I was trash in my 20s. In my 20s, I was trizash. Okay? Let's go beyond the cheating, right? We'll get there, okay? But there was a misogyny to the utmost level that I had in my 20s. That even friends, we had a friend who was over down in Charlotte the other day, and she said, like, I see the change in you. Right? That's crazy, because she's known me just about as long as you know me.
Yes, she has.
Right? And she said, I see the change in you. And in one part of my heart, I was like, yo, like, that's the growth that I was looking for, right? And at the second time, I was like, God, dog, man, I was trash, dude. And I had to come to grips with that. Like, I literally had to come as a black man who has the struggle, right, and who deals with this stuff every day. I had to come to grips with the fact that, listen, I'm not a good person. I say I'm a good person. I say I'm a good father. I say I'm this. I say I'm that. I'm a Christian and all this other type of stuff. But what do people see of me? Right? Like, what are people seeing? And it hit me like a lightning bolt. Yo, I'm trash. And I know you don't like when I say that. I know you don't like when I say I'm trash. But I'm big on calling a spade, right? Okay. If you hang with trash folk and lie in what trash lies in, what they say, you are what you eat.
Right.
You trash. Now listen, the good part about being trash is that you don't have to stay trash. You can be recycled. Okay? So I owned the fact that I was trash. And that I wasn't treating women, let alone black women, the way that they should have been treated. I wasn't respecting their space, right? I wasn't respecting them as individuals, as being more than likely the smartest ones in the room every time that we're there. Like, I just, I wasn't doing none of that, right? And I had to, once again, if I want to call myself a good guy or a good person, then the first thing I need to do is self-check, right? You don't get to, as an individual, you don't get to call yourself good. Because it's subjective. right? You don't get to say what you are. Other people do. And if other people see you as trash, then guess what, homie? That's what you are.
Right.
So you have a choice. You can either grow and be a different person, or you can stay languishing in trash.
Mm-hmm.
No reason why these black women, these minority women, should be going through this stuff, man. No reason. If we're supposed to be kings, right?
Right.
Let's do it this way. If we're supposed to be kings and we're supposed to be the ones that rule the roost, let's just go with this identity here, okay? What is my kingdom if I can't push everybody above me?
Right.
What is that? So I have to make a choice. I can either continue to be trash and languish in trash, hang with trash people, or I can start calling people out. And listen, I say this to you as someone who has done it. I say this to you as someone who, it was tough. It was hard. I've had numerous conversations with you about how hard it was for me to be friends with the people who I consider friends.
How's that working out for you now?
Well, good question. Because we moved, I don't necessarily deal with them as much as I used to. On those levels, right? So before, we were always together. Just, you know, hey, what you doing, homie? Let's go, roll, whatever.
I know.
Right? Now, I love them from afar. I still see them from time to time, right? Because I feel like they're always going to be my people, but I just don't kick it the way that we used to, right? And here's the thing, they're not always trash, right?
Right, which is the thing that, like you said, I don't like you to call yourself trash. I don't like for anybody to think of themselves or the people they associate with, because I think just like you had to go through your growth, people have to get there.
Absolutely.
And they get there in their own time. Unfortunately, there's a lot of collateral damage that's lost on the path, right?
Yep.
So when they're stuck in that ignorance of not knowing, or just kind of going with the flow of what they think is normal, they're what you're describing as trash. But when they have that aha moment, or when they have an experience that knocks them off their feet, they're like, yo, I didn't know as much as I thought I knew. Yo, I was doing some really stupid stuff. And they can come around to where they are actually, like, not necessarily saying they're a good person, because I like what you said about that, but where they're just like, I'm not the person I thought that I was. And I need to take some steps back and look at things differently and show up totally different.
Right, but I guess part of it is that, like, my issue is that when I was going through my transformation, I like to call that a transformation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was recycling myself, okay? Part of the problem that I was having was that I felt like I was in this period of growth. Like, I was seeing things differently. I was hearing things differently. Like, I was actually listening to women as opposed to, like, talking over them and stuff like that, right? Like, it was just this huge change. And I don't know what helped the light bulb come on, right? I don't know what it was. But I just know that it happened for me. And I saw it, and I was just like, yo, like, why do you keep calling women females? Right? Like, that was a big thing for me. Like you don't you see the difference in between a woman and a female? Right? Like female could be an insect.
Right.
A female could be an animal. That's a woman right there.
Right.
Right? So like why am I still using this to say? Because I fully believe that when men talk about women and they say, and them females, it's really a placeholder for just calling them a bitch. That's my own personal.
You think it's intentional every time?
I absolutely, because here's the thing. Whenever you want to reference your mama, you don't say females, you say that's my mama. You call her by her name.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because you respect her.
Right.
Right? But when you don't respect somebody, they're just this thing over here.
Right.
Right? Female. So yeah, I understand why people don't see female as a big thing, but I do, because words have intent, and they're,
have power,
you know what I'm saying? And so if that's the case, then let me not disrespect you at any turn.
So do you think that has to be something that's taught? Because I totally agree and see what you're saying, but let's go back to maybe circa junior high or high school when I would hear that term more. That was just a term, so I didn't think of it as negative. When somebody said that to me, I didn't think it was a negative thing, but I don't also think that they necessarily meant it in a negative. It's just kind of the lingo that people use.
I believe that women can be conditioned the same way that men.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if every day from a little child somebody's calling you a bitch, regardless of if somebody else says, hey, somebody calls you a bitch, that's a negative connotation, in your head, bitch is like saying it.
Right.
Right? And so you don't look at it negatively because you always refer to yourself as bitch.
So I think you hit it on the head, like when you say conditioning. So I do think that a lot of people use it in a negative way, intentionally. But because of the condition that's gone on for years, you can get everybody who calls women females that they're intentionally being negative or that they just don't know.
I think that this is what happens is that somebody points it out to them. Hey man, don't call women females, right? And at that point, once somebody has brought it to your attention, you're held accountable.
Okay, I can see that.
Right? So let's just say that nobody has said something to you about it, right? Okay, fine. The moment that somebody close to you, somebody that you know cares about you, that doesn't want negative things to happen to you, says to you, dog, stop calling women female.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say
it's
you
on
can't
you.
just hear that from anybody.
Yeah, it's on you at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. It's on you. And then if you keep doing it, now you're just being an ass because you know that's you're using it as a placeholder.
Right.
So once again, I'm not gonna tell nobody to do nothing I haven't done. Right? I did. I used to do that female thing. I don't. Right? I get it. I understand it. Right? And you as a woman, it may not matter to you. You may not care. Right? But there's enough women who do care.
Right.
Right? And if one woman cares, that's enough. That's enough.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? We would say the same thing as if someone who was not black was saying nigga. We'd be like, motherfucker, don't you ever call me no, because that's how it feels, right? So you don't know the black person who's going to be offended by you calling him a nigga. You just know that if you say that word, it could go down.
Right.
That's how calling a woman a female should be the same. It should be the same. Just don't do it. It's so easy to do or not do. Just don't do it and just get past it because that's your misogynoir kicking in.
I agree.
That's all that is. So, you know, like I said, if your boy hadn't gone through it, then trust me, I'm not going to tell you anything I haven't done.
Speaking of women and men and the way that people relate to each other, tell me a little bit more about this because I don't watch news and I'm not on Twitter at all, but I don't watch the news like you do. Okay. But yesterday morning while we were getting ready, I saw that clip of that Hunter dude. So I don't know who he is.
Oh, Duncan Hunter.
What I saw was him throw his wife under the bus, and I was fall back. Is he just telling on his wife on national news?
So just in case you guys don't know, GOP Senator Duncan Hunter, who, if I'm not mistaken, he's from San Diego or lives in San Diego.
Yeah, he's one of the San Diego counties.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. So Duncan Hunter basically got exposed for using campaign money to just basically live his best life.
Live his best life.
Him and his wife living their best goddamn life, right?
They went to dinner and block.
so they went and, you know, all that stuff happened, and they have like all these transcripts about everything that happened and how much money they spent and where they spent it at and all this other type of stuff. So this dude, instead of, because once again, they have proof of this, right? Like they have proof of this. So instead of just manning up and being like, look, I gotta bounce. He's doing what unfortunately a lot of the GOP has been doing.
He's doing what Adam did to Eve.
Ooh, don't you do it. Don't you do it.
That's what he did.
He basically was like, it wasn't me. I don't handle my finances.
It was this woman.
It was this bitch.
This female over here. All the money.
Dog. When I saw that, the first thing I did, I turned around to Sean. I was like, did he just throw his wife under the bus? I couldn't believe it.
Crazy.
But let me just tell you. I'm scared to throw you under the bus.
Man, I was sitting there thinking, like, if somebody don't cut him,
that
is the craziest thing ever.
Listen, if it's the difference between me taking the fall for anything, regardless of how small or how big, I got to take it. Because I'm scared of what's going to happen if I don't take the fall. Not only to my family, but to my life.
That was such a punk move.
That was some bullshit.
Such a punk move.
I could not believe. And then he went on the Fox News and did like a 6-minute interview that I couldn't watch because it was Fox News. But the highlights was basically him doubling down on throwing his wife under the bus.
That is the craziest thing ever.
I just, like there's a special place in Hades for that motherfucker right there. That was crazy. Let's move on to what I want to end every show with.
What's that? Telling everybody how beautiful I am, how much you love me.
No, you tell yourself that enough. I'm just I'm playing with you. So this thing called the question of the day. Now, mind you, I like I said, I'm a Twitter, like that's my spot, right? That's where I get all my breaking news. That's where I get like the underneath of everything, right? So I'm on Twitter and I see this and I was like, I can't believe it. But I didn't want to post it because I didn't want to ruin it because I knew I was going to use it for this. So this is the question of the day, all right? And there is no setup to it. This lady is going to set up her own question.
Hit me.
All right, here we go. It says, my fiance makes $70K a year, while I make $115K. By the way, let me just say this to you. Let me just say this to you real quick, because this is not part of it. Men, if your woman makes more than you, bless you. There's no reason for you to feel a way about it.
No, that's adding to y'all.
No, that is y'all. That is y'all, right? Or at least that's how you should look at it, you idiots. All right, here we go. I'm completely okay with the difference in salaries. Okay? This is the woman speaking.
All right.
However, I just learned that he has been supporting his mom and dad financially for years since he graduated from college. I overheard him tell his mom that they can start looking for a new house and he will help them purchase it after we get married, since we will have more money with my income. Okay? When I questioned him about it, he said that it was the least he could do for his parents, sacrificing to put him through college. He said that when we get married, my money is his money. And there shouldn't be an issue with where he'd like for our money to go. Especially when it is for his parents. I love this man. But I am seriously thinking about calling off the wedding. I would love to get your followers' thoughts on this.
Wow.
Shauna Renee.
Wow.
Question of the day. What should our young lass do?
I have some questions though.
Okay.
So how much was his college tuition? We got to buy a whole house? And what does he do?
Come on.
Because college is expensive, right?
College
We're
is
looking at that.
extremely
It's
expensive.
But exchange for a house?
For a house, y'all.
Like I get the sacrifice and all, but dang.
So I let me just back up
Even
a little
with
bit.
interest?
Let me just back up a little bit. I don't think he's thinking so much as for how. I think he said for putting him through college, but I feel like it's more like life achievement award.
I get it, but I think that when she goes back with this conversation, she needs to be able to say, look how many zeros college had.
Right.
And look how many zeros this
house
has.
right.
And look how many zeros I'm making, and look how many zeros you making. And the Bible says to leave and cleave, like, you know, and buy them a house. So is it his parents, his mama and a stepdaddy, a mama and a daddy?
It doesn't matter.
Somebody in that house isn't working. Now, I didn't want, because your mom offered at one time for us to all buy a house together.
She did
right?
offer. She did offer that.
And I don't even want that, but I would be maybe more willing to say, if you need help, let me help you. If you're unable to have a place to stay, let me help you with that. Let me put you up for a little bit. But buy you a whole house? And we're getting married and starting our family?
And we ain't even married yet.
Like, no, we're gonna buy us a house.
And you can come and stay.
Maybe.
Right.
But you have a room to visit at least, right? No, we definitely have to have a talk. But I'm so glad she found that out before she said
What?
Because that could be huge.
Listen, I don't know this lady. If I walked right past her, I'm telling you right now, don't marry this girl.
I would say, so in our relationship coaching, like I have dealt with a lot of women who have issues with the mother-in-law. I love my mother-in-law, God bless her soul. But there's a lot of people who have mother-in-law issues, and I think that's one of the reasons that the Bible is clear about the leave and cleave. Like, it's about your wife and your family to be.
So I feel like there's a misunderstanding about that whole leave and cleave too, because that leave and cleave, right, isn't necessarily about women. It's about us, like men.
Absolutely.
It's about men, right?
My mama can come stay with us anytime.
Well, okay. Can we address that real quick? Can we address that? I love your mama. I love your mama, right? Like, I love her. I always love her. She's
easy to love.
She's the sweetest person.
I'm just like her.
No, you're not. So she was the sweetest person I literally have ever met. Literally, even sweeter than your grandmother.
And then I'm next, my mama. I believe it.
No,
It's true.
absolutely not. So I say this, and I know this is unusual, but your mama, my mama, right, could live with me any day. Literally. She just stays out the way. She just wants to live, right? She just literally just wants to live. She doesn't want to be a bother. She's not doing it in her opinion. Like a complete lane stare, right? Love your mama.
And she makes really good food.
Yeah, makes really good food. Right? So she could stay with me any day. That being said, I ain't buying her and Leon no house. And I ain't gonna let you and Leon buy her no house.
What if we won the lottery? Is that totally different?
Totally different.
Okay.
Completely different. And when I say the lottery, like, let me just say this.